Good evening, folks. Good evening. Yes, yes. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to Beyond Baroque Literary Arts Center, and welcome to the Wanda Coleman Theater. We want to welcome you also to the LA book launch of A Poem is a House by Linda Ravenswood. Give it up for Linda. My name is Jimmy Vega. I'm the Associate Director of Beyond Baroque. I'd like to start by acknowledging Beyond Baroque's presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Tonga peoples. We acknowledge the wrong done to these peoples through settler colonialism, genocidal practices, and the violent disposition of their land. As an arts organization, we are committed to uplifting Indigenous communities, their stories, and cultures. For those who don't know, Beyond Baroque is Los Angeles' oldest literary arts center, located in Venice, California. Founded in 1968, first as an experimental literary magazine before reimagining itself and becoming the literary home we know it as today. We are based out of the original Venice City Hall and help support writers and help cultivate new writing through our extensive program of writing workshops, readings, and performances. We offer a number of workshops online via Zoom, such as our free weekly Monday night fiction workshop facilitated by Raquel Baker, and our historic Wednesday night poetry workshop currently facilitated by L.A. Johnson. Similarly, we offer several paid in-person and online intensive workshops throughout the year. This month, we're excited to host the 4th annual 30 and 30 workshop with poet Brendan Constantine, which will occur online starting tomorrow. So there's still chances to sign up for that. And that workshop will happen tomorrow and then every Saturday in April to help us celebrate National Poetry Month. Later in April, we'll host a fiction workshop titled From Image to Page with Miriam J.A. Chauncey, which will invite workshop participants to utilize photographs to spark their own writing. Aside from our workshops, we offer several readings throughout the year. Tomorrow, we'll host the Santa Monica Review for a fiction showcase, and later in the evening, we'll feature a table read of The Unbuttoning by Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright Beth Henley. So do please come back for all of that and more. And for more, visit our website at beyondbaroque.org. We also offer several memberships to Beyond Baroque, starting at $60 for an individual membership. Purchasing a membership allows us to offer free online and in-person programming, as well as our free weekly writing workshops. As many of you know, our memberships also provide a discount on our intensive workshops as well. All donations and memberships directly allow us to continue the work we're doing in cultivating a literary space here in Los Angeles and beyond. These funds also give us the opportunity to further cultivate the artistic possibility of language for future generations of poets and artists to come, which is to say, please do become a member. And if you're a member already, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd like to give a warm thank you to all of our staff for making tonight happen, to making it possible. Quentin Ring, Ivan Salinas, Eric Alberg, Michelle Raphael, Genesis Perez. Please give it up for them. They keep the place running. And so we're here to celebrate Linda Ravenswood. Yes. The first time I met Linda, through Brian Sonia Wallace, and this was at the height of the pandemic or something like that.
I'm so sorry.
And well, we did this crazy little thing where we were transmitting poetry and art through like radio transmitters. And Linda pulls up in her SUV, and I'm kind of amazed because there was this whole performance kind of in the middle of a pandemic, and that was my introduction to Linda Ravenswood. So I'm extremely excited and proud of all the work that Linda gets to do and continues to do. And to kick us off to the launch, I want to welcome our host of the evening, Bernadette McComish. Please make some noise. Thank you.
I don't know, I could follow you, Jimmy. That was such a great intro for A Poem is a House. Yeah, right? So exciting to be here for Linda and for her amazing book. You know, when Linda first sent me the PDF of this and said, hey, can you take a look? I read it and I was like, fuck you. This is so amazing. You know, when you're a writer yourself and someone sends you something like this, you're like, how could anybody be this good at this? And this was like right after 2 other books she had just published. And then she sent me another PDF of Girls in the Desert, which is her next forthcoming book, right? Is that coming soon? It's coming soon. I mean, and then there's another one coming. What's the new one that just got? Is it the 500?
The
end of the 500 end of the conquest. So I don't know how many books that is, but
it's
7 books this late. And they are all kind of on top of each other, which is just incredible. So thank you, Linda, for being the mad genius that you are and for inviting all these wonderful poets, writers, and readers tonight. I'm so happy to be here and be your hostess for this incredible night and this incredible West Side launch. So we're going to just kick it off with Diana Dinerman. Yeah. She's a writer and a performer. Her work's been in the Los Angeles Times, The Sun, the Los Angeles Press, and she came all the way from the East Side on a Friday. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. Please welcome Diana Dinerman, everybody.
Hello. All the way from the cul-de-sac of Silver Lake. I'm so happy to be here. I love Linda's work, and I'm very honored to be able to read her work. And one of the things that I like the most about working in the medium of poetry is that you are in conversation, whether you know it or not. And sometimes a poem you read waves at you, and then you can wave back through another poem. So I'm going to read a poem that Linda wrote from her new book. A poem is a house, and then I'm going to wave back with one of mine. This poem is called My Father's Eyes in the Slow Time Gravity of Kelp Beds off Baja California, Sir. And Papa, I love you, and do not regret places we never ran. You were with me on the quartz in Los Feliz over glyphs, and the Mulholland swank down. You draped across dunes. There is no knot in my language when I see the places you dwelt. And Papa, I love you. Your eyes are closed like Georgia O'Keeffe shell number 2. My breath on you. The feather whisper wondering if you're in Burbank or in the cloud of a child in some other portico. By the plaster Maria, say 10 Marias, 12 Marias, 18 Marias. For my father gone down to the place of shells, Iuagua, y green things swaying. Even in the bracken, Papa, I love you. Your eyes are the dust of La Ribera, where the ancestors bent and fished by La Salina, I love you. For things you did, knowingly, unknowingly, intrinsically, in your DNA, I love the blood and bones of you and the remnants of you in your cashmere under the earth. You kept goats, and now you are kept by them on your hill. Y Papa, recuerda la cabeza de cabra cortado, pero cantando en los abroles. Fue el viento escalando a través de cada lugar donde estás, es un carrero y una cabra. Donde sea que estés el cordero y la oveja se acuestan en la tierra. Ay, papá, no me arrepiento de haber tocado apenas tu mano antes de que tú fueras. This poem is called For My Father. And then there is my father. He's been thirsty his whole life, lusting for his own autograph. Slow, stubborn, puffs his chest out over a cup of coffee, every conversation a takeover, every topic unconquered territory. He competes with the air, his life a long shadow box. I can't even talk about the Janis Joplin biopic over bad Mexican food without him claiming her specialness for himself. He beats his chest and belts her name, Janis! Janis! Oh, Janis. I relate to Janis, he says. She also was not fully appreciated for her gifts. When he is tired, he sits on top of the moon, coolly spinning in his solitude, and prays for concentration. There is no attention deficit, just a fear of failure that bites his ankles like a cattle dog. And then a difficult person enters his orbit, me. I cleave to facts. He wasn't there, he did, he didn't. I keep inventory and guard my tenderness. The relationship is my accounting project. And yet he is my teacher. He is the difficulty I accept and abide. I spin atop a cool moon of my own, fingers interwoven like braided bread, preparing to pour impressions like craters into pages he will never read, words that push him into corners he can't box his way out of. Thank you.
All the way from the cul-de-sac. So great. Wow. You know, I love this idea about being in conversation and waving back at these poems. And so let's keep waving at A Poem is a House. And don't forget, it is on sale in the bookstore if you do not have a copy.
How much?
It is, I don't see the price. Linda, how much is it? $18.95 plus tax, so it's about $20.
That's cheap.
Not too bad, not too bad. You know. Next up, we have Kendalle Getty. She is a poet, a performance artist, a visual artist from Los Angeles, a philanthropist, a champion of the arts. She's working on a solo collection that will come out in 2025 with the Los Angeles Press. She just did a solo art collection. She is a powerhouse of a person, and I am so proud to call her my friend. Please welcome Kendalle Getty. So excited.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. I know I'm supposed to accept compliments, but where do they go? Oh, have not tried that yet. Thank you, doctor. I'm going to start with the poem, Someone Has Littered the Desert Again. A pretty deputy sails the empties two at a time into the police truck. Her khaki arm loops and swells over itself, a lowy fuller of silt. Something to scrawl home about. Scribes, ping down your reportage like stars. Witness these red marrow bones on frames, bending for centuries. Como las estrellas, how they chew themselves awake. It was written they would wander under a lips line of history, a quiet rattle, their family name. And I don't know how much of a wave back this is, but I'm going to respond with a poem I wrote just 2 hours ago. This is called Tender Child. Dearest tender child, eyes too heavy already with grief, you are forgiven. Bare your palms to the sun and lie long, in safety of course, proffered nowhere but now, here. That poorly rendered Bugs Bunny failed to mute those hospital white walls. That garish, sloppy rainbow obscured no consequences. You, little one, bear too much responsibility on behalf of others. To one sister an effigy, the other a mother, as though the 2 more measly years of experience could bestow you with that kind of power. To the mountain lion and the drunk, you've been invisible or hated. Do not wear that costume. Take off your dunce cap and look north. Do not fear the change. You have made yourself small to survive their rage. Let them suffer the logical ends of their behavior. You cannot be their savior. Thank you.
Gorgeous Kendalle Getty, you guys. Wow, you are forgiven. Thank you for that. I needed that. Did you guys need that? Whew. All right. Up next, we have the incredible Sonia Wallace. Yeah. He was the poet laureate from 2020 to 2024, and he's got tons of books. I wrote these poems, now I want them back, The Poetry of Strangers, and most recently Maze Mouth from Moontide Press, and he's just the worst. He's Linda's best buddy, and he's awesome. Also, a wonderful, both Kendall and Brian are stars at the Poetry Brothel, which you should definitely come to some of this sometime, maybe April 19th. Come join us. It's a really fun time. Please welcome Sonia Wallace. Everybody. I need my hugs. I gotta get my poetry hugs.
So this fucking thing. She has 7 books. This is the best one. I love you. Good job. Linda is also a big old Jew. And we are constantly waving at each other with all of our appendages. Like that, like jellyfish.
Which one?
And thank you for having us here to celebrate you and to share our work and your work. And I love the idea that literature is always a conversation. And it's really beautiful to be in conversation with everybody in this room. I am from the country where we make the bombs.
Let's go.
A diaspora of refugees, we fled too. Brought our anger with us and our fear. Never again, never again, never again. I am a Jew. The state of Israel flies me out, all expenses paid. Propaganda's free. They bring us to the desert where Jesus prayed. Give us tiny lights to carry. Listen, they said. See what you can hear. We meet a Holocaust survivor outside of a museum filled with dead children's shoes. I am the great-grandchild of that genocide. After dinner, shakshuka and kebab, the history professor tells us about the founding of the state. It's 1948 and the skies above Europe fill with the ashes of 6 million. 6 million and a quarter of them children. Listen, he says. This was a last resort, but look what we have done. Revived a language no one spoke. Baruch Atol Adonai built gleaming cities on the sea. From the ashes, an identity. Listen, he says. And then, any questions? I am an American. I raise my hand. You said the Palestinian symbol was the key. The promise one day we will return home. The wars with Egypt and Syria are done. Why can't they? I'm an activist. This is a democracy, he said. The Palestinians outnumber the Jews, and so if they return, we will cease being a Jewish state. Listen, a voice in my head says, what is a democracy? I am an American. My family forgot the prayers, left their religion. This is a very Jewish thing to do. They became scholars, academics, activists for peace. I tell one of the Israelis on my birthright trip that it is my father and not my mother who is Jewish, and he says, why are you here? This isn't about you. I am not a Jew. In college, I protest for Palestine, and my Goy mother says, careful, remember your history. Sorry, I am an American. Listen, history says,
or must I repeat myself? 100,000 dead in Gaza, each refuge is a fist about to close. Millions displaced, starving. Maybe the two-state solution has always been an American fantasy. Each side calls for the elimination of the other. 10,000 dead, raped, kidnapped in Israel. All of this within the last 6 months. Remember when 3,000 Americans died and we reigned shock and awe for 2 decades. Listen, the numbers say the book of hurt is a long writing. In the face of atrocity, I can offer you only the desert. I grieve the only way I know how. Quietly. And then loudly. Say genocide and mean genocide. Must we repeat ourselves? Happy book launch!
Thank you, Brian. You know, I think poetry is a reminder that we're not alone. And art is a reminder that we're not alone. And that no matter how different we all think we are, we're actually all so much more alike than we realize. And, you know, from the ashes and identity for so many of us. And it's just such a great reminder. So thank you again, Brian, for that reminder. And for all the artists tonight for reminding us that, and for A Poem as a House for reminding us of that, because it reminds me of, there's one little line on one of the pages that said, a poem is war. And I think about all of these little lines in Linda's book, not just the poems themselves, but all these little moments. A poem is a disappearance. And so it's just important to remember how we're all so much more alike than we are different. So thank you. Christina Cha is up next. I know, she's great, right? The best. She's a writer of poetry, short fiction, creative nonfiction. Her work has been in the Coachella Review, the Los Angeles Press. She was shortlisted for the 46th New Millennium Writing Award for nonfiction. Oh, yeah. One of her pieces was just nominated for the Pushcart. She's featured in and consulting and a consulting producer on You Are My Audience, a documentary, and 10 self-portraits. So many things. What isn't everybody in here doing? I feel behind in life. She's also an editor and a writing mentor, and she's a teacher, and she currently lives here in Los Angeles after residing so many years in San Francisco. And she's another person I'm just so happy to call a friend. So please welcome Christina Cha to this microphone and stage. Yeah. I'm gonna hug everybody. And she's 11.
I mean, it's all faux. It's all faux. Maybe. Thank you, Linda, and everybody. It's always so lovely to read with this crowd. Yes, all of Linda's books. I'm going to read To Live at the Scene of an Accident, because it's short and I'm shy. No, because I don't know. It's on brand for me. To live at the scene of an accident, to be crushed by imperial hinges and not be jolted, to wander to the other side of grief, to go on living even at the scene of a crime. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Linda. And I have so many of my poems are a wave back to Linda, just from when she speaks casually or when she writes a poem. She's very inspiring. And this is an excerpt from a piece that's going to be in volume 10, Los Angeles Press. And it's a wave back to the poem that Bernadette is going to read. And if you don't already know, right now all I write about is my aunt, avant-garde artist, and her murder, and how it just keeps happening. The account of the second man. Stories too much for one person, for me. to carry, to tell. Aim upwards into the ether for someone else to use the force of it, burn it as fuel. A controlled shout, crafted. Shape the rage and vengeance and sad into something else. Pair it with the deep need to be seen and pain be heard, and not everyone is able to write about their trauma, so why don't you? The account of the second man, the one who roams. Does he have a family, untouched on the surface, rotten at the root? Has he convinced himself it was a dream, or just two creatures with terrible curiosity? How to smash frogs under boards, play mad doctor and patient, alien autopsy? Boys will be boys who will murder and wonder what happened. Goat head hanging in a tree, singing. Aunt and artist murdered, dumped in a parking lot. I am grateful he roams free and does not have a home in my chest, stuck to the rest of memories and mythologies and imagined things. I don't want to be in his mind. I am grateful he is not in mine. Unlike Sarto, whose presence I work to undo, forget, ignore, this one is blank, not written into my DNA, personality, timeline, driven into me young. He has no place but to drift, forgotten. Doomed, though. You better bet he is fucking doomed, and that if he shows his face. The one who got away, he is on a sidewalk in the Northeast, far away from California's South. Nothing behind him but a dry light. He is lucky, or he is dead. A puff of flat gratitude, a flash in the sun, a moment. Does he feel me feeling him? A person who can murder doesn't feel someone else's pain. He only feels his own. No one else as real as he is. Was he the brilliant mastermind? It certainly wasn't Sarto. Does he possess evil and cunning, owned by a demonic force? A burnt breath whispering, prodding at him, run, run now. Is he a fiery mess of grief and pain and denial, cursed by his own evil acts, bad magic turning back on him until he consumes himself with stupid use of drugs? Way too much heroin or oxy, something dulling. Is he lucky or is he cursed? Is he in prison for something else? Perhaps he is dead. Does he want to be hunted? Has he confessed his murder? Does the story spill out of him as sloppy secrets do? He floats, he drifts, he waits, suspended. His life ended then. I know nothing about him, only that he is a corner of a story, a sentence, a few words, less gravity than a ghost. I'll stop there. Thank you. Yay. And the rest of it will be in Volume 10, Los Angeles Press. And please watch my film. And I'm excited for my upcoming collection with Los Angeles Press, The Dream of the Unicorn. Okay, bye.
Be on the lookout for The Dream of the Unicorn, forthcoming from the Los Angeles Press this year or 2025? This year, I was told. Right now, maybe. Maybe it's in the box under the table. Who knows? Could be anywhere. Thank you. Oh, that's my collection. My collection is in a box under the table. Thank you, Linda. Up next, we have the incredible Tom Laichas. He's an author of 3 books of poetry. I mean, not 7 like Linda, but I mean, still pretty impressive, Tom. Most recently, 300 Streets of Venice, California. Sorry, you guys cracking me up. His work has appeared in the Los Angeles Times, the Irish Times, the Moth, Estetica, and elsewhere, and he lives with his family right here in Venice. Please, and I also remember, Tom, you mentioned once in a story a Datsun, and my very first car was a Datsun, and I always remember you saying that, and it always sticks in my head. So please welcome Tom Laichas.
Well, Linda, thank you for gathering us. The reason when Linda was able to write 7 books is she started out when she was 12 years old. And I found that out because here in the bookstore, they've got many I shouldn't say all, many of Linda's books. So I picked up this one. This is Hymnal, and it's really terrific. And it was in 2012 she wrote it when she was 12. And so if you want to see, the entire arc of her life, you can get all of the collection. But in honor of this book launch, I am going to read Untitled Note from Oregon. And it taught me a new word. Thank you. That word is camus. Is that the way it's pronounced, by the way? Do I have it right? Camus? Okay. And camus is a turnip-like vegetable, is that correct? And it's sweet, and it was used not only by Native Americans, but it's also used by people who want to have a sugar substitute. So it's good for diabetics, for those of you who are looking for something. Thank you to Wikipedia for that footnote. Untitled Note from Oregon after Jana Harris. A pair of blood-stained gloves in tall grass was left, a sigil. From Winesap into the Columbia. That was the place where they slept, somehow unbothered by fleas and ticks. Grass went high as a horse head, and even the donkey lay down. On the lower ridge, they pulled mosquitoes to their fists, 10 or 15 at a time. Boils on their necks and in the dark place oozed for months. The babies sucked rags dipped in the blood of offal, but came through the winter. On bluffs overlooking the Okanagan, we saw native women coming with camas hanging from their belts. They placed the bulbs in a pit and covered them over with sweetgrass. When the camas had steamed, they sliced them like onion heads. With a sweet purple taste, smokiness of earth and seeping greens. With translucent camas tongues falling on our fingers, we looked to the sky, straining to find a bridge from our grandparents, and saw they had left us everything. Because she started when she was 12. So in our next life. So this is Guardian Angels Witness More Lives Than Yours. You are 8 years old. Your angel watches as you pull wings from a butterfly's thorax. The butterfly's angel watches the day-old insect writhe. The two angels watch one another as one creature lives and the other dies. To feel your way into your life, you kill that small creature. Later, you don't need such cruelty. Your angel knows that. The dead butterfly's angel knows too. Over the whole earth's scalp, lives uncountable. Above each body hovers an angel. Each angel gazes at the others, each watcher witnessed. We desire to become angels, to outlast creation's brokenness. Our angels witness this desire, held in each human chest like a caged songbird. Our eyes also witness. We too observe and marvel. But we are not angels. We watch until our attention drifts. We forget our own brutality. Thank you.
We do, don't we, forget our own brutality. Maybe on purpose so that life doesn't feel so hard sometimes, yeah? So thank you, Tom. Wow. We're getting a little heavy tonight, huh? Feels a little heavy. It's okay. It's all right. That's what poetry does sometimes. Up next, we have the incredible Allegra Parks. She's a poet. Yeah, she's great. And a psychotherapist based in LA and New York City. And I actually know Allegra also from the Poetry Brothel, which April 19th, we have a fabulous show. You should definitely come. And she was wearing these feathers. And then soon after I met her, the pandemic hit. And things just got crazy for so many of us. And I had a baby. It was crazy times. And she was on a Zoom baby shower because we couldn't be in person. And she read from this beautiful book called On the Day You Were Born. And I just wept and wept and wept. And I was, 36 weeks pregnant or something. And she's just a beautiful soul and a beautiful woman. And I'm so excited for you to hear her work tonight. Please welcome. Oh, and she has a collection coming out from the Los Angeles Press called Contact Boundary, which we should all have good boundaries. Please welcome Allegra Parks, you guys. And she's got legs for days. Yeah. Come on up, give me a hug. Yay. All legs. Yeah. Gotta show some of that leg. Show. Let me see. No, you. No, me. There it is.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I'm such a newbie here. Sometimes I'm like, what am I doing here? But really, no matter what, I just want to surround myself. I don't even care like who chose why I can be here, but like the energy and inspiration and goodness that Linda has and surrounds herself with is so intoxicating. I can't not. So thanks everyone. I love this book. Okay, so what I'm going to read is, oh, my little thing got lost. Oh, no, it's right here. Okay. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Let me know. After Daniel Borzutsky? Yeah, Borzutsky, the Book of Non-Writing. Okay. Nothing, bodies, words. They fly, all the bodies, walking, trouser legs, sweet swirl in the streets. They rust like engines. Bodies so old they go over and again, lumbering with the big bellies and fat hands. Trees shut up from dirt, crashing over. Bodies thrown of land. Bodies in the field they rope on. Everywhere a vast landscape. Their nuts and bolts, the leavings and comings and goings of the body in its spray. It inches and folds. The smell, like leaves turned over, like something rained on. Weight aching and long in its mind and muscles. The body taken over by screaming, by laughter, by crying. The body taken over by love. The idea of love. The minor indication of love. The deck of cards, way a button shines. Through an eye, in a shirt song by the body, for the body, the only slightly imagined end of the body, the very definitive edge of the body, the smell of the body again, the smell of the body through the nose of grass. the body of the body in ice. The smell of bread in the body, the smell of the body after it's been covered in bread. Bread that makes the body the bread of the body. The longing for the body of bread. The body without borders. Sin fronteras. The body with no border, no edges. Correction. The body with no borderland, no edges. The body is a spooled out plain. The body is the plain itself. The body of the field. The body of the body, the entire earth. The body without the boot in the basement. Without the green hat in the silt, the body without trouble, the body without wine, without the goat's head, hanging from the trees, the body without rope, without twine, the body without levers, the body from under the body, beyond its own blood and sinew, the body beyond taxation, beyond representation, beyond immolation, beyond self-satisfaction, beyond putrefaction, the body beyond the body. The body in a cave, the body in a glass of water, the body in a space capsule, the body in the moon. The body in the space between the moon and the earth, the body floating to the dark side of the moon, the body explaining the dark side of the moon to a child in its new body, the body understanding that it cannot know everything about everybody, the body in the picture show, the body in the theater chairs every weekend. The body holding a newspaper in its clutches. The body never ending eating, never ending swimming, never ending bathing, never ending trying on shoes. The body never ending spinning, singing, mapping, writing. The body never ending calling up poems of the body aloud before a grand body within the body of a house, within the body of a city, within the body of the earth. The body never being without the earth's body. The body and the earth's body traversing, traveling, marrying, living, kissing, cooking, fucking, yelling, dancing. The body, the body, the body, the body, the body, the body, until forever. The body until the light changes. The body until the car doors slam. The body until we say goodnight. The body beyond the body, beyond reframed, the body beyond death. The body beyond loneliness. The body beyond loneliness. The body beyond loneliness. The body beyond motherhood. The body beyond the doorman, the body beyond the marketplace, the body beyond the body beyond. Need the body? This is not really a lullaby for the end of the world. This is a map to the beginning of the body on the lip of the volcano. The body and its wedding gown. The body laughing because it is a judge. The body laughing because it is a prostitute. The body knowing, laughing because it is a merchant, and if you sold a precious earthly bauble to a body in need, as it increases its savings, as it dances with its goals, the body, as it dreams of future images of itself in future rooms, antique chests, and vaults, and beds, and tables, alleviating itself, rocking itself to sleep, the body as it dreams of never ending. The body smelling its fingers for evidence. Everybody saying it's too hard to make a movie. Let me be a writer. And let spells be enough. Everybody needs a script for this. It's not really a lullaby. For the end of the world, this is the beginning of the body. I just want to I want to read that one every day. I actually do. Don't tell anyone. In the morning with coffee, I just read it. Okay. This is my wave. This is my body's wave. This is the body. This is the body of me waiting to leave. Umbilically tied. They said forests burned. Our night talk never stopped. It was so. Long ago, I broke. I broke for the door. This is the body of waiting to leave. It was so long ago I broke. So long ago I broke open the hinges, and the way I saw time was your breath, clean, steamy, burned. Slit-throat days where safety was the equation. Correction. Slit-throat days where safety was the total in the equation of me cosine you. Hooked my heart, I hooked my heart into my nose. It all got pulled out, strung out. My heart came through. It came through. My heart came through. My dark, small, round mouth like a necklace of memories. It was so long ago I broke, and they stole my heart and jarred it and threw it in the river like the Egyptians did with the brains of their dead goddesses, not knowing it was treasure. Red and glistening, like an entering. So long ago, I broke this body. This is the body of how I would leave. This is the body of me leaving. So long ago I broke. After dark, I broke into possibility of simple, single, smooth way, water repellent, glistening, and strong. This is the body I move in now. This is the body of beauty I move in now. And this is the body dead. I left it.
Hi, all. So my name is Linda Ravenswood. Thank you so much for coming tonight. And don't get your hopes this up because I'm only going to be here for just a second because I want to introduce your fantastic MC for the evening. Just a wonderful educator, poet, producer of the Poetry Brothel Los Angeles, producer of the Poetry Brothel San Francisco. Yes, she has a show coming up on April 19th at El Cid in Los Feliz. I don't know if she's mentioned that to you guys. But she would very much like it if you would join her there on April 19th at 6:30 p.m. in Los Feliz at El Cid, the world famous El Cid. Bernadette has a new book. It just appeared today. It's called Prophets of Los Angeles. Yes. And she'll have a book launch of this amazing book on April 28th at the Village Well in Culver City. Would you please give a warm welcome to your hostess with the mostest, Bernadette December McComish.
Thank you, Linda. You know, I just want to thank Linda and, for her generosity and her friendship, and just love her so much. She's just the best. So we're all here for you and we love you so much. I'm going to read Elementary School from Poem is a House. Really excited to read this because Linda and I talk about a lot of things together, and the thing that we talk about a lot is men. We talk about men a lot, and this is a poem that really speaks to me, and it won an award, right? Is this the Oxford Prize or which one was this, Linda? The Oxford Prize. This won the Oxford Prize. No biggie. It's called Elementary School for Bridget Pegan Kelly. There was a goat's head hanging by ropes in a tree, she said. You have to forgive men. I immediately wanted to say, for how long? But I knew she'd say it's a process and a cycle, that we have to thank them for the wheels and the trips to CVS and the houses, that it's a balancing act for everything, everywhere, that marriage is about, in the end, coming to an agreement, that you both need each other, especially as you get on in life. 3 husbands, 4 husbands, lots of sons. The song of the nightbird, she said. They say it's something men are, like it's what boys do. Something comes over them. Maybe it's a little bit biology, maybe it's a little bit dark anatomy. They just don't know why they did it. They were in a group of them, and it was like a cloud. They all saw red or black or some color. It's built into society to forgive them, to punish them hard and then forgive them, to punish them hard and never forgive them. It's built in, you have to say sorry and you have to mean it. Cried like a man and struggled hard, she said. Even a woman recognizes the struggle of a man. Even a woman talking about murderous intent of children who happen to be young men in the making. Even there, a sweet song of forgiveness shocks the night with its beauty and tenderness, the sweetness of, I'm sorry. Everybody cries for a man. The man you lost, the man you never knew. And would you be surprised to know your own father had a dungeon? Not a metaphorical dungeon, but a dungeon where he did things that men do. Things he needs to be forgiven for. Things he will never be forgiven for. Songs he'll sing to be forgiven for. The way his song goes on forever when his song is cry for forgiveness for the things men do. My poem is a house, you guys. Yeah. Page. I don't know, it's a different page in the book than I printed it from something else. So thank you, Linda. And so I wrote this poem that I'm going to read to you guys. After reading that at the last reading we did all together, something about that poem shook me. I had read it before, but I hadn't read it out loud in this way. And I sat down and I went crazy writing, and this is the last poem in my book, which centers around a Jewish woman and a Palestinian man, a man that I love very much who refuses to forgive me for I don't know, being a woman. I don't know, being a Jew. I don't know. I don't know why. You have to ask him. But this is a poem I wrote for him and about him and waving back to Linda about forgiving men. It's called Absolution. If you were still a pastor, would you forgive me? If you were still an addict, meth burning your throat, would you forgive me? If you were a smoker, Marlboro Man, or Parliament Lights like my mother, fingers yellow and sour musk, would you forgive me? In your rage, a black and white scarf wrapped around your fist, your family dying in a land you'll never touch, I know you won't forgive me. I call and say, I'm sorry. I am sorry, you know. I tell everyone who will listen, in case they know you, sorry I didn't say no. Sorry I wear a gold star under my t-shirt. Sorry my son is not your son. Sorry I fell for your beard. That I talked shit to a witch. That I carved your name into a candle. Rubbed blood I prayed wouldn't come into a sigil, the letters of your name. Sorry I didn't listen to your no. Called from a blocked number, wrote you a letter, mailed you a fountain pen. Sorry I never showed up at your door, the door of your mother's house. I wrote you a book, 2 emails, 7 text messages. You won't forgive me. You used me like a bag of powder, disappearing, reappearing. I let you. I liked it. I forgave you. You said sorry. You said it. You wrote it. You took it back. You're not sorry. I forgive us both in the name of the gods we abandoned, the same way our fathers left. Thank you guys so much. Ooh. All right. Enough about all these other poets. The lady of the hour, the woman you're here for, the star of the show, the star of every show, the star of the Poetry Brothel Los Angeles. She is. She's the star. She said it's me. It's not. All of these folks are in that show, by the way. Brian and Allegra and Kendalle. It's April 19th. Thank you for asking. And Linda is the star of the show, and she's the star of this show because her book, A Poem is a House, on sale in the bookstore for $20, is amazing. She's a performance artist. She's written so many books. She speaks 7 languages. She's an incredible singer. She's an artist. I mean, what else can I say about the mad genius, which is Linda Ravenswood?
So much.
She, yes, and that. And she's just an incredible powerhouse of a woman and the best friend, loyal and true blue. Please welcome her to the stage. I don't know what she's going to read, but Linda Ravenswood, everybody, come on. Yeah, more. Yeah. Do you want your book? Great. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Thank you so much. No, I have 2 announcements, and I'll read you a small poem because we've been sitting long enough.
We want more.
So I'm just going to read one poem, but I do have 2 announcements to make. First of all, no, 3. I'm sorry, it's 3. The first announcement is thank you, Beyond Baroque. Hi, Eric. Thank you so much to all of you for coming out, to my little kids. Hi, little kids. To my best friends and the mayor of West Hollywood, to Bernadette, to all the amazing readers, and especially to people who on Friday night came out to hear some poems. People that I don't know yet, please get to know me. Let me get to know you. I'm so grateful that you're here. Second announcement, Natasha Dennerstein's book entitled Apps Poetica is coming out from the Los Angeles Press in August. We just acquired this book. Natasha is an incredible trans poet originally from Australia, now living in San Francisco for the last couple decades. They are amazing. So look for that book, Apps Poetica. And a book called Dorothy's Twister is coming out also from the Los Angeles Press, penned by your very own Tom Laichas. So this is the first announcement we made about that. So congratulations, Tom. Your book was selected for publication. Yay. And I'm just going to read this one poem, so thanks a million. It's my most recent piece. It's called Leaving Gaza with a White Flag. Oh. And it's written like a neighborhood. You can see the blocks and the apartments and the streets. And so here it goes. Leaving Gaza with a white flag. Have you seen Rami Abu Jamuz's film of his family leaving Gaza with a white flag made of bath towels? In the streets, he's walking with the camera on. Thank you, Tom. And Rami sees ahead his neighbor who doesn't have any water. No one runs to him with water. And this neighbor is also trying to leave. It's Abu Ahmed and his young son. They're on the sidewalk in Gaza, also with white flags. Rami calls out, Abu Ahmed? Abu Ahmed is crying. His son is lying on the cement, turned on his face, long and full of colors like a calf in sand after a ritual. On the pavement, Abu Ahmed is rolling. Now he's wailing. Rami's camera records. Abu Ahmed cries out, Khanyan Bagi Lana Anab Kafi Al Mansil, which means, we should have stayed home. Everyone's in prayer. Abu Ahmed is crying 100 times. Suddenly they shout, Yatanafas, which means he breathes. Abu Ahmed lifts his son immediately to carry him away. Another strong man comes to help. Running through the streets, they're holding the boy upon their arms. Then a reporter cuts in, and she says, the son of Abu Ahmed did not live. Finally, his name is said. Ahmed al-Atbash. Then CNN says, look here, drone coordinates of the family as they fled. And they show how the families went from their flat and the brief moments it took to go around corners, under evacuation. They did not have guns, only the towel and the broomstick and a plastic sack. Rami's camera keeps filming. Later, as he drives on the way past Al-Shifra Hospital, he sees a man on the road who says, Pa, Rami, Gaza est tombé, which means the whole city has fallen. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone. Let's have some wine and fruit and talk about life and love. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.